Hello, everyone. Welcome to Lotus Heart Tarot. I'm so happy that you're here. We're going to dive right into your reading. Sorry, I was switching these decks around and I stopped and got distracted and All right, here we go. For Pisces, please, Spirit, what can you show us? What does Pisces need to know? What does Pisces need to know right now? Wow, okay. We had some crazy flip out there. All right, wow, protection. Wow. Pisces. When I was meditating on your energy this morning, I got this feeling. Let me see how I can say what it is. It was like, we learn our lessons, right? We learn that, we don't want to be around people that drain our energy and people that aren't good for us. And we get really protective of our of our energy. And I don't know why I almost said action there. So, take it as it resonates. But, we go through these phases and it's kind of fresh in our mind what happens when we compromise on that. And we're real like, oh no, we have no problem holding a hard boundary because it's so fresh in our mind what happens when you don't. And we're like, nothing is worth that risk. But then, we hold on to it. And then as time passes, it's like somebody will come into our life or a situation will come into our life and we're like, oh man, I see this, I don't like it, but I feel like I have no choice. I have to deal with this. Maybe it's a coworker, maybe it's a family member, maybe we tell ourselves it's just a temporary situation, whatever, but it's a slippery slope. And, we kind of can sometimes then, especially when it comes to a matter of the heart, like if this is in a love relationship or something, we can just sort of see a red flag and go, yeah, but it's not as bad, or, it's okay, they just need time, or, we kind of can sometimes make excuses or accommodations for people or for ourselves. Anyway, that it feels like we're in a little bit of a messy situation, or in a little bit of a situation where we're kind of draining ourselves, or where maybe we are telling ourselves it's okay to be this way, or it's okay to tolerate this, or it's okay for this, when if we were still in our other phase where like we had just come off a lesson that was really hard, we wouldn't be so accommodating. We would see the red flag and we would say, oh hell no. You know what I mean? And so there's something here, and I'm getting this discernment energy where it's like, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil kind of thing. And it's giving me this vibe of like, not really wanting to acknowledge, or not acknowledging, or not wanting to see something, not wanting to, just, it really is acknowledge something in someone. Here's the thing. When you hold the line, when you hold the boundary, when you pay attention to these things and you trust the universe that like, okay, now that I see this, now that I'm acknowledging this, now that I'm admitting this, I can trust when you fully trust the universe and that the universe is an abundant place, and that, you know, there is someone for you, or you don't have to deal with people with lower vibrational tendencies or toxic traits or insecure attachment styles or whatever it is for you. And you hold fast to your discernment, to the lessons that you've learned, and to the protection that they even provide you. You will find what you're looking for. It's like you will get there. And you are in some kind of transition space where I think you are kind of coming to a place to recommit to yourself, or to your, see how straight she's standing and see how straight she's standing. It gives me this impression of the pillar of consciousness within us, where we really know what is best and right for us, or where we really know what our moral compass is and what we will and we will not tolerate. And this protection energy is like giving me the Star card. And there are these two swans in it, and swans they do mate for life. They're soulmates, and they represent that. They're symbolic of that. And it's, you know, when you have trust that this is out there for you, you don't take less, and you don't take stuff that is like not showing up for you, not really. You know what I mean? You hold fast to what is in your highest and best good and what you need. And you don't do this kind of thing where you just, if I don't see it, if I don't acknowledge it, if I don't this, if I don't that, if I give this person a little more leeway, if I, you know, da 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 da, you don't mess with that stuff. You don't. Because you trust that it's not for you. You've already learned that lesson. You've already been through that. You don't need to learn it again. You don't need to go through it again. So you are in a place right here where it's like you are transitioning from one thing to another thing, and you are protected. Part of your protection, though, is the lessons that you've already learned. You know, the lessons that we've already learned are our best help to keep us in a place where our free will choices are supportive of what we want, not what we don't want. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. You guys have someone new coming in. I'm telling you. You may have a past person, and that past person may be coming towards you too. Or they may be, you know, you may be kind of stuck in a pattern with someone, like an in and out pattern, or what is it, like where they're in and out of your life, where they show up and then they don't, or they're inconsistent, or they're not showing up how you need them to, or they're showing up but you see the red flags. Whatever the situation may be, this is a transitional period. It is. You are headed into meeting someone that is really, really, really meant for you. That is aligned with your higher vibrational frequency. That is aligned. Can it be a past person coming back in a new frequency? Absolutely. Is it going to be that for most of you? Probably not. Just being honest with you. But listen, nothing resonates, nothing feels as good, nothing is as amazing as what is meant for you. And you may think you know who that is and what it looks like and what the name is and all of it. But in the end, you have not met every single person on the planet. Like, this is the best thing that you've met so far. It doesn't mean it's the only thing. It doesn't mean that's the end of the road. It doesn't mean anything. You're still living, you're still breathing, you're still here. That means you are still capable of meeting someone new and absolutely being blown away, you know? And that's kind of what it feels like is happening here. you're in a transition. The more you stick to this pillar of consciousness energy within yourself, what you know is right and true for you, not getting distracted. I keep feeling these senses of obligation, or like, I don't want to do it, but I'm going to, or I have to, or I have no choice kind of energy, or, I'm not naturally opening up to this situation, but I'm forcing myself to open up to this situation because I'm probably not opening up to the situation because I was traumatized before. Sometimes our body just knows. Sometimes our body doesn't open up, doesn't allow us to really open up, or doesn't, organically open for everyone or everything. You know what I mean? And that's our body's way of telling us this isn't for you. We got to listen to all the parts of us. We can't do this. We got to listen to it all. There is going to be someone here, it feels very much, that, like, honestly, I feel like a physiological, like, response to you. It's like, I can't help it. Like, my body just responds to you. Like, I'm really getting the body as being an important indicating factor here. Just like, there are those people, when they get near to you, you feel the spark, you feel some kind of energy, you feel some kind of attraction. I still get that from my husband after 30 years. I still, like, it's crazy, especially when I know that, like, we're in a place where we can't, it's just inappropriate to, touch or something like that. I feel this is like way electricity around him. But anyway, not that you all need to know all that, but what I'm saying is, that's what I'm feeling here, is like someone that it's like they wake you up in a way, or there's a body response to them, to the closeness of them. And it's not because you're thinking anything about them, or you're trying to see if maybe there's an attraction or a spark there. No, it's like, that is the awareness, that your body is your awareness, where you're like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Kind of an energy. Yeah, I'm getting it. I'm totally getting that from this energy. And it's like, it makes it so, your body wants to be close to their body, or you're thinking about them when you're not with them, and vice versa. They feel it too, and they're thinking about you also. Yeah, you have seduction, passion, and romance await. And there's almost like, it's also giving me that energy, like what I was saying about my husband. Like, I was thinking about, like, church, like different places like that, where it's like you can't, you're not gonna, I don't know. Yeah, there's like an energy of anticipation that makes it even stronger, is what is really coming through here. It's like, I don't know if this person's off limits to you, or if it's like forbidden, or if it's like, I don't know what this is, but it's just sort of weird. You're like, huh, this is, you have the unicorn here and you have the queen here. I'm just telling you, there is someone that is coming in that is going to really see you and feel you as someone very rare and unique in their life. And it's not that this has never happened to you before, but it has never happened to you, I feel like, with an open channel, because that's how it's coming through. It's like with someone who's actually really available and receptive to this energy themselves, is willing to acknowledge that they're also feeling it. Like, you're used to dealing with these people that are like, I can't open up to this. I don't really see this. I can't, like, they go so far, and then it's like, I'm just, maybe they're not ready. Maybe their attachment style is off. Maybe, like, whatever the case may be. And it just doesn't, it can't, they're not an open channel. That's how it's really showing it to me. It's really like They're just not an open channel. Either they're not ready, they have their own blockages that they have not worked through. They're just not in a place in their life where this is what they're ready for. Maybe they have unhealed wounds, whatever the case may be. It's someone who is not ready, is not prepared. And it's like you have learned so much about this energy that you kind of know it when you see it. And the only reason now you get involved with it is because you're ready, quite frankly, and you can't find someone else who is this like open channel. Well, you're in a transition. You're coming into a phase where you are finding that, where this is going to happen. It's so crazy. Okay, let me holy moly. Holy moly. Look at this. This synergistic card is giving me the open channel vibe that I was getting. You have twin flames, synergistic, sacred space. Okay, I literally just was like church. And you have red flag. This is literally, I literally just was talking about all of these things. See what I'm telling you? This energy is very strong. It's very clear. It's very strong and it's very clear. I got it before I even got here to the table. Everything is confirming everything. When everything confirms everything, this is somebody's reading, okay? And it's probably more than one person. It's multiple of you have someone new coming in. This is like, I don't know, but part of the reason I think there's such a strong physiological response is because both people are sort of willingly aware of it. Neither person is really resisting it or denying it. And I think for some reason it's coming to me, right, as like people being used to dealing with someone who it's there, the connection is there, but they're dealing with someone who is not ready for it or is not open to feeling it. And so there's not like a conscious awareness of it. It's kind of like, I'm drawn to you, I'm attracted to you, you know, we can hook up, like whatever. But it's not like they're really willing to be conscious that this is like affecting them on a deeper level and that they need to heal, release barriers, you know, all these things in order to become the open channel for it. This is like two open channels coming together where the energy and the emotion is able to just free flow. Like there's so much flow between these two people, okay? God, listen to this. On this red flag card, just think about what I've just said to you this whole reading. This red flag card says, tune into the subtle energy you are receiving about the situation. Listen to the messages from your body, trust your gut and your intuition. I said to you, your body is your communicator here. The body is coming through so strong as the communication, as the like tool. You have deception. Someone is not being honest or is withholding information. And that withholding word is what is so strong to me. It's this energy, dealing with people who are like holding back. I don't see it. I can't say it. I can't express myself. I can't hear what you're saying. You know, I don't, you know, people who are blocking their own senses. Okay, and the deception could even be them with them, but it's a misalignment. You know, these two cards where it's like the pillar of consciousness energy. When you're really true to yourself and you're really in tune with yourself and you're really aligned inside yourself, I am just getting this like buzzing kind of energy where it's like, this isn't for me, or this person's misaligned, or this person, they're just not ready, or whatever the case may be. But then it's like, when you find someone, that happens all the time, right? That happens all the time. We meet people and we're like, oh, this isn't for me. But meeting someone that is for me, that happens so rarely, that even when you meet someone that is for you, but they are in one of these like, oh, I can't communicate how I feel. Oh, I can't see how much I need this relationship, or how good this relationship is for me, or the future here, or whatever, that it's like, but it's so rare that I find someone that I connect with on this level that, I'm willing to overlook the red flag, because I feel this connection. And most of the time when I meet most people, my body buzzes in a completely different way of like, nope, don't get involved in that. Nope, that's not for you. That when something connects, I try to work through it. I try to make it happen. I try to figure it out. I try to, be whatever I need to be in order for the thing to work. And it's like, that doesn't work either. And now you're finally meeting someone who is also ready and also open. This is synergistic. This is your energetic match. And it is about energy. It is about energetic flow. That's how it's coming through. It's like an open channel. Two birds sing sweeter than one. And then you have sacred space. Time out, clear out your energy. Space brings clarity. I think, Pisces, you may be in a space of, really releasing, letting go of a bunch of stuff, letting go of a bunch of barriers. And this is really expanding this energetic flow energy. You are letting go of these connections that were deceptive, that had red flags, that we ignored, or this energy of even the desire to work through things that aren't free flowing. Where we have to make accommodations for someone else because they're not ready, or they're not, they can't communicate, it's too hard, or they can't envision a future, it's too much, they can't, they're not woke, they're not enlightened, they're not, they're not in their highest and best energy, and they're resisting it, This is different. This is very different. Okay. Spirit, please show us, what does Pisces need to know? What are we talking about? What are we dealing with here? What's coming in for Pisces? What is coming in for Pisces? Well, hot damn. The Lovers actually came out on top of the Five of Cups, but I switched them because of the graphic nature of this Lovers card, and the fact that we are on YouTube, even though my videos are for people 18 and over, because tarot cards are like that. I have to do that, but it is significant that the Lovers should be on top of the Five of Cups. Just okay. So, all right, right now, what we can see here is 4 cards. 3 are major arcana. So this is a major moment. This is a significant opportunity. It's a significant relationship. It's a significant choice that we're coming up to. And it is coming after, the Five of Cups really talks about our past and the things that we can't do anything about. And, it's like, even in this card, it's interesting because this guy is holding a towel as if he's going to like polish these and set them up right again. And we had that sacred space energy where we were talking about, clearing out any boundaries from any past deception, from any past relationships, the barriers, the blockages that we have developed, or the protection mechanisms kind of is how it's coming through, and just releasing the things that are not serving our highest and best anymore. This is a really good time to just do that anyway, but it is clearing it out. It feels like in preparation for the entrance of a major soulmate. This is our past. We're not headed in this direction anymore. Like, this is where we're headed. you're in a transition. You're moving towards this. You have the Knight of Coins. The Knight of Coins feels very significant to me because of this pillar of consciousness energy that I'm getting here, where it's like, it's really hard for me to move in this direction. You may be moving away from someone that is very difficult for you to move away from, but you kind of, it's like, I know it's what's in my highest and best. I know that what is going to serve me the best at this time is to really put one foot in front of the other and move toward, you know, my ultimate goal, or move toward what I want. And that is like a higher level love. It is a soulmate connection. It is my future, not my past, you know? You have Justice and Temperance. You have this protection card, which is beautiful. It gives me a lot of star card energy, but it's also kind of like Temperance and Justice, right? Where we have two, you know, we have the scales of justice here, and with Temperance, we have like the two cups that are bringing things together. This is like where things even out. You know, we put love out into the universe, you know, by loving people. And I've said this on the channel before, but an easy way for you to find evidence of what I'm saying, that it is true, is if you just lay down and think about someone that you love, and you think about all the things that you love about them, and you think about how much you love them, and you get that feeling all in your body of loving them and being so grateful for them and for their presence in your life, where does the energy that's circulating in your body come from? It comes from inside your body. Love is something that it's an energy, and it's something you generate, you possess. It starts in you, it's from you. You are not capable of loving someone without having the ability to love someone within yourself. Do you see what I'm saying? It comes from within you. And so you are the one putting the love out into the universe, right? That the person that you're loving may or may not be doing a whole lot for that, but you are creating this super high frequency energy, and that is a superpower. That is quite a huge gift that you have, right? And so that love that you're generating, and that is that energy that you're putting out into the universe. Energy can't be destroyed. It doesn't go, it's not, it stays, right? So once you generate that love and you put that love out there, it's there. And so sometimes we think, okay, that love should, and remember how I feel about should, come back to us from where we're putting it. But it doesn't always work like that. It can, but it doesn't always work like that. Sometimes our love is unrequited. Sometimes we are loving people who are not capable of meeting us that deeply and can't possibly return the love that we have. They're broken and blocked, and they don't have the ability to generate that kind of same energy. So, but the universe works in a balance. So what we put out, it comes back to us. This is justice. And with Temperance, this is always this energy. I've had this visualization so many times of, you know, the universe sort of pushing people in our direction, or putting people in our path, or putting opportunities in our path. It takes a while to kind of work those things out, especially when we're dealing with other people that have free will. You know, I could go on and on and on and on and on about this subject, and it's hard for me not to once I get opened up into this channel, but I'm going to really try to just like stay the simple line here, because I do think this is a very big energy and a very big moment for you, Pisces. But the universe is working things out in your benefit and on your behalf. And they're working things out in order to make sure that you get back what you've put out into the world. And this is that time. This is that moment. It very much feels that way. And it feels like you are kind of being protected. You are, with the King of Coins, using your free will choices in the 3D material world to head in the right direction, to head in the direction that is in your highest and best, and to hold on to your own pillar of consciousness, and to trust and believe that the universe is, moving things in your favor, and that the love that you have, generated and put out into the universe is coming back to you in some form or fashion from somewhere. And that could be in the form of a very strong soulmate who is finally someone who is actually ready. Holy moly. Oh my gosh, I'm dying to see what this is. King of Cups. Okay, you have the King of Cups. Yes, Pisces, this is your energy. You have, when you think about the beautiful frequency and energy of love and how good it feels to feel love, we're capable of feeling love anytime we want to. We are loved. We are always loved. And we are always capable of creating and generating that love. We just have to consciously choose that. And with the King of Cups, this is the master of emotion. This is someone who can, handle it. They can meet you deeply. And you can meet them deeply, but the power of loving belongs to you. This is coming through so strongly here. You are the one generating it, and you can generate it anytime, all the time. All you have to do is what I said, lay down and think about someone you love or something you love. And, allow that feeling to really circulate through you. You can practice that anytime you want. And you can send that love to anyone, anywhere, that's meta. And, wow, I don't know. This is I love this energy. It's kind of addictive. It's really amazing. And then you have this energy of the Five of Cups with the Lovers and Judgment. And, this is getting a new chance. This is rising up out of old circumstances, which we were talking about with the Five of Cups. Past situations that didn't work out that we can do nothing about, and just releasing them. And, the Judgment card in Rider-Waite, it's almost like the spirit sort of rising up from the body, or, we're getting that new chance. We're able to transform and to leave something heavy behind and sort of rise up out of it. And that's this energy with the Judgment clarifying the Lovers and the Five of Cups here. It's we can leave it all behind. We can have a new experience. When the right person comes along, everything else kind of makes sense. It no longer hurts. It's no longer trauma. It's no longer any of those things, because it all makes sense now. Now is our chance. Now we're getting loved right. Now we're able to have this reciprocal experience. And you have the Ace of Cups. Spirit is definitely bringing in an opportunity, a new opportunity in love for you. Wow. They want to keep talking about this energy of, people who have kept you trapped in the past, with their own misalignments. Okay. And let me just go ahead and clarify this. We have the Seven of Swords, the Devil, and the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords and the Seven of Swords is my least favorite combination of cards in tarot. And you put the Devil in between them. Hello. These are the time wasters. These are the people who, they're the people who that discernment card with the see no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil, they're the people who are like, you know, so frustrating because they come into your life, they stir up all these feelings, they make you feel all this love. I mean, I'm not going to say they make you, because you willingly love them. Like I said, it comes from within you. It's an energy that comes from within you, a high frequency energy that comes from within you. They inspire you to love. Okay, I'm going to put it like that because I think that's most accurate. But they themselves are misaligned, and they, are not prepared to return it. They're not capable of returning it. With the 5 of Swords and the 7 of Swords, their mind cannot allow them to open up to that frequency or match that frequency or return that frequency. With the 5 of Swords, there is, a feeling of conflict here. Sometimes it's manipulation. Sometimes it's a little bit of, there's a winner and a loser in everything, and I want to be the winner. I just don't want to lose. So I will do what I have to not to lose. In other words, I will deny that I have feelings for you. I will fight those feelings. I will not admit or acknowledge those feelings. I will fail to be able to see a future with us, or I will protect myself by not being willing to see a future with us, just in case you break my heart or decide that I'm not worthy, or you know what I'm saying? And with the 7 of Swords, it's like I might not even acknowledge that this matters to me, or that, I too feel the love, or that this connection is important to me. It's all those kinds of energies. And those people keep us stuck. They keep us trapped with the Devil energy, because we can see so much potential. And, chances are we've put on a rose-colored glass or two because we've allowed ourselves to feel love for this person. And once you feel love for this person, it's real hard to sever that tie. It's real hard to be like, oh, I don't feel it anymore. This person protects themselves by not allowing themselves to feel it, or to acknowledge or admit that they feel it. And so with the Devil, it's crazy. This 6 of Swords card, he's like actually flying in this like hot air balloon contraption thing. And you have the 10 of Pentacles. What I see is this is you freeing yourself from being trapped in energies like this, which is what I was talking about at the very beginning of this reading with that discernment card. And, where you're freeing yourself, where you are setting yourself free, where you're finally saying, listen, I got to come to a place of peace and acceptance and accept what is. This person isn't showing up. Even though I feel this soul connection and this soul bond for this person, even though, I feel so much love for this person, even though I don't want to let this go, I want to let this, I want it to work. I want it to show up. I want to invest, Yeah, like I want to do things like give someone the space to change, or to see what this is, and to fix it. Really, in the end, the best thing that we can do is just come to a place of peace with what is, and not pressure the situation to transform or to change into anything else. Because if we can accept it the way that it is, then if it changes and transforms, what a bonus that is. But we're not, when we need the connection to change, when we need the connection to be the connection, it keeps us stuck. And that's what we see with the Devil. And it can even bring out energies like obsession, or, an extreme focus, like on this person or on this situation. which really doesn't, that energy kind of squeezes the lifeblood out of an energetic connection. It actually takes the flow away and the possibility of flow away. We have to be okay with things the way that they are in order for them to change or transform, or stay the same. With the Five of Cups on the bottom of the deck, and having had that Five of Cups that came out with the Lover's card just before this, there is this energy of, you know, focusing on the past. It is interesting because in that card, that person had the towel in their hand and it felt like they were fixing those cups up. Here we have someone like basically passed out on the bar, and there's someone beautiful standing right in front of them. They can't even see them because they're so focused on the past. And that's kind of what this is giving me. It's like, once you come to a place of peace and acceptance with it, you don't need to escape it. You don't need to change it. You don't need it to be anything other than what it was. It can be just what it is, and it's okay. And then you're not missing what's sort of right in front of your face. This is interesting. Also, just want to point out, we have the Five of Cups, the Five of Cups, and the Five of Swords. So 3 fives. You also have this transition card. So something is definitely changing here, energetically or otherwise. Let me also clarify the Seven of Swords real quick. Man, you have the Three of Wands in reverse with the Two of Pentacles upright. You know, this is someone that they may not, okay, wow. If they if they could see a future with you, it's like, okay, let me take these words. Let me get them right. It's like this. Either they did not acknowledge being able to see a future, or they didn't make future plans or something like that, or they made future plans and had a future vision that they shared with you, but then they didn't follow through. With the Two of Pentacles, this is someone that is cycling back and forth between making the decision out of love and making the decision out of fear. So this can be someone that shows up at times and is like, yes, I see a future, or even I want a future, or, you know, you're someone I see in my future. And then fear takes hold and they pull back and they're like either absent. It's like a changeable energy. It's wishy-washy. It's unreliable. And they may come through like very strongly, like, oh yes, I want you in my future. I don't want to be without you. I really like you. When I'm not with you, I miss you. You know, blah, 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 blah. And you know that there is actually truth in what they're saying because you can feel it. This is why these people make you so stuck. So stuck. But then they don't follow through on it. They don't ever show up for it because you have the Two of Pentacles. So it's like, I take the step forward and then I take the step backward. I'm unreliable. You know, I don't stay in the same energy all the time. I say this, I believe this, I convince you of this, and then I don't follow through. And then maybe I even come back and I re-up and I tell you again, and then I don't follow through. So this is it's tough. It's tough because they're giving you enough hope or enough, you know, belief that it's possible or that it's right there, that you stick with it, but then they pull back from it. This is due to a misalignment within themselves. This is due, it almost feels like kind of cowardly energy where it's like, oh God, how do I want to say it? Like I'm afraid to be vulnerable, and the vulnerability and the bravery are what is required to actually be the pillar of consciousness energy. That bravery and that, you know, I'm not afraid to be vulnerable. Like I'm willing to do it for you, for this. So it can be somebody that's not ready, and it can be somebody that Yeah, I'm getting a lot of they're not ready. I'm also getting a lot of like avoidant energy. Um, Now you have the Hermit with the Five of Coins with the Four of Wands on the bottom of the deck. You know, with the Five of Coins here, I kind of feel like this may be your energy, but it could also be the person coming in, Pisces. Because the Five of Coins, you know, I talk about this all the time, is those are our basic primal fears. Our fear of not being worthy, our fear of not being good enough, our fear of rejection, our fear of abandonment, our fear of intimacy. We all have them. We all fall somewhere on the spectrum. And with the Hermit showing up with this, you know, these kinds of relationships where they never really fully pan out, they can really mess with those fears. And they can also, we can have relationships like that because those fears are having more of a say in who we're being with than we realize. You know, we may feel like we're healed, we may feel like we're in a good spot. A lot of, you know, our relationship choices come from our subconscious, you know, a place in our mind where we're not even consciously registering that we're doing it, you know, that we're always picking emotionally unavailable people, or we're always choosing to fall in love with an avoidant, or we're always overlooking red flags, or we're always, you know, falling for people that end up being deceptive, or misaligned inside. And it's like those things are clear from the beginning because their words don't match their actions. But we will sort of say, oh, but you know, they had a good reason for that. Oh, but they had this, but they had that, you know. But, you know, like I have a neighbor, I don't know him like terribly, terribly well. I mean, he hangs out with my husband, but like I personally don't know him. But I can tell you the first time I met him, I was like, this is a very aligned human. This is someone whose words and actions match 100% of the time, or as close to it as you can get. Like you meet him, it's in his handshake, it's in his posture, it's in the depth and richness of his voice, it's in the way he carries himself, it's in the way he, you know, the way his house looks, the way he treats his wife, the way, you know, he treats his neighbors. It is just in everything about him. You just know he's an aligned person. And when you meet someone that is kind of misaligned, you sense it and you know it. You know, a lot of us have dealt with a lot of misaligned people in our life, and it can be kind of hard because we've gotten used to it. But like I said, when you meet someone who's really super duper aligned, you know it. You know it without a doubt. And it's interesting because he's very friendly with my husband, but he's not very friendly with like everyone else in the neighborhood. And everyone wants to be his friend. Everyone does. He's like, oh, that's him, you know? And, you know, whenever he comes up in a conversation, or, you know, there's like an HOA vote or something like that, where everybody's like talking about how people are going to vote for things. We only have like 14 homes in our HOA. So like there are conversations like this. I don't think like big HOAs talk like this, but you know, everyone's like, and they always look to my husband like, oh, how will he vote? You know? And there's just this energy of, you know, he is so rock solid. You do know how he's going to come on things, you know, because you just know where he stands. And so it might not be that we're looking for the ways in which people are misaligned, but we're looking for the surety of people who are aligned. Do you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes things get cloudy and confused because we're looking at someone and we're going, are you misaligned? Where it's kind of like, sometimes the tactic isn't looking for the misalignment, but it's saying, I don't get a clear sense, you know, which is hard because people really misrepresent themselves. Like, this is a really tricky thing. It comes into, are their words and their actions aligned? And even that can get tricky within that, because, you know, it's like someone says, I'm going to show up on Friday night at 5 o'clock. Okay. 5 o'clock comes and they don't show up. And then they tell you, they call you or text you and they're like, I'm so sorry. I was in a meeting, it ran over, I couldn't use my phone, and so I can't get there. I couldn't get there, and I'm going to be 45 minutes late, but I'm coming. I'm still showing up. Please don't be upset. And you're like, oh, okay. And then the next Friday, they're supposed to show up at 5 o'clock. You're doing dinner again. And on Wednesday, they call you and they say, something's come up. I'm really sorry. I can't get out of it. My ex was supposed to take the kids this weekend and she's got COVID and she can't take the kids. And you're like, oh, okay, I'm disappointed. It's another valid reason. The next Friday comes up and he's like, let's make plans at 5 o'clock on Friday. Okay, great. And Thursday night calls super late and says, the child is sick and the mom is going to maybe come and take them, but I don't know, and I won't know till the last minute. So either we can cancel and reschedule, or, and they miss, and they say, but they call Saturday and they say, oh, you know what though? I'm free right now. Like, what are you doing? Like, can we go out right now? And so, it's like they keep, even when somebody has this like quote unquote valid reason for not showing up or for not being there, that doesn't always mean that their words and their actions are aligned, because eventually it starts being like, okay, we can't begrudge someone because they have kids and they need to take care of their kids and things come up. We can't begrudge someone because a meeting ran late. It might happen to us. We want them to give us grace when it happens to us. But when it's, more than 50% of the time, something comes up, you have to really start to then also look, do they want the same thing you want? And even if they want it, are they capable of delivering it? Have they set their life up in a way that supports what they actually say that they want, right? Because 50% of the time, if they're not able to show up, regardless of whether it's a good reason or not, and I hate to say this, but it is kind of true, that, we set our life up in a way where, when you really want something and you really want something to work, and, it is a priority in your life, you figure it out. You ask your mom to watch your kids, or maybe you don't have a mom. Maybe you don't want to ask a babysitter to watch your sick kid or whatever. It's still not going to happen more than 50% of the time. And if it does, then you have to say, okay, are your words and your actions really aligned? Is it that you really want a long-term connection and you're really looking to build something and grow something? Because if you did, wouldn't you have set your life up in a way where, yeah, things come up, but they come up less than 10 or 20% of the time? I mean, do you see what I'm saying? Because you have set your life up to support this goal, this dream, this desire. You see what I'm saying? We have a tendency to let things confuse us, or to address something, one little thing at a time. But it's like, maybe there's not room for me in your life. Maybe and why is that? If what you say you want is this, then why is it that it isn't working out like that? You have to be willing to be honest. And sometimes when we see so much potential in something, we don't really want to be honest with ourselves. We want to give it every chance because we think, well, a chance at having that is really worth it. But we can actually, take ourselves away from the opportunity to meet someone who really is an open channel and really is ready and able to show up for us, because we're trying to give this other person so many chances when they're really not aligned. And it hurts. It's so disappointing to get all excited that you're going out with someone that you really like and that you see a lot of potential in, and then they're constantly canceling. That's heartbreaking. That's so sad. I had a friend that went through that. And the guy always had this like great reason why. And was kind of like, well, you know, it's my parents, it's my this, it's my that, it's my job, it's this, it's that. And it's like, okay, well, you've set your life up in such a way that you don't actually have space for me. You don't actually have time for me. You actually can't even make a date and stick to it. And so I get it. I understand that all of these are valid reasons and that this is clearly your priority over this. And so be it. But I don't have the time and the energy. But it was so heartbreaking because she could see so much potential in this guy. It really was awful. He was, you know, a very nice person. But yeah, he like, whoa. Anyway, with the Hermit and this 5 of coins, there's kind of this energy of, this is where we do the work. This is where we say, okay, how are these things affecting me? We know everybody has these. Everybody has a little bit of fear of letting somebody get close to them. Everybody has a little fear of this. Everybody has a little fear of that. And we can say, well, this is the way I am, and whoever deals with me, you know, if they're gonna love me, they've got to deal with this. Or we can say, I'm not gonna let this crap dictate my life. You know, I'm gonna move as close to the center of the road with these, you know, basic human fears as I possibly can, because I don't want them dictating to me how I am. And the other thing is, when we have dealt with people who are deceptive and misaligned and who don't have time for us and who can't choose us and who can't show up for us and who aren't ready but don't really want to let us go and drag us through this like yo-yo experience, it plays to those fears. And it kind of intensifies those fears, you know, because it affirms these, you know, little fears that we all sort of have in our head. And then when somebody comes into our life and they're like, oh, I can't choose you, you know, or they reject us, or they, you know, whatever, we sort of have this response where we kind of, you know, typically take it kind of personally, where we're like, oh man, I just got rejected. Oh man, maybe I'm not worthy. Maybe this is proving this deep-seated fear I have to be true. And with the Hermit, when we address this kind of stuff with the Hermit, when we shine a light on it, when we are not afraid to look at it, and when we say to ourselves like, okay, is this true? Is this valid? You know, what is this fear? Where does this come from? And we really look at it. First of all, what someone else's issue is not our issue. Meaning, if someone rejects you, it doesn't mean that it's because you're not worthy or because you deserve to be rejected. It just means that they are not ready for this, or they can't meet you as deeply as you've met yourself, or, you know, you are ready for something they're not ready for. It's like, it's not personal. And so when we shine a light on it and we get to see that truth in it, and we get to see that, hey, it was actually never about us. You know, what was about us is, why did we choose someone who was emotionally unavailable or who wasn't ready? Or why did we overlook all the red flags? And that's on us. And those things, those mysteries can also be solved in the Hermit, you know, energy, right? Because we're shining a light on it. We're bringing the truth to light. We're not afraid of it. We're facing it head on. We're having this spiritual journey. We're saying, okay, for once and for all, I'm going to face this crap because I'm not taking it on. I'm not taking it to where I'm going. With the 4 of Wands here, I'm manifesting my true desire into reality. I have someone coming in who's going to be my end all be all, and I'm not going to let this interfere with it. I'm not going to let these past experiences that I've been through and all the ways in which they've played on my fears, I'm not going to let that, you know, dictate my ability to open up to this. Yeah. Wow. So, okay, you've got the Hermit clarified by the Queen of Wands. And, you know, this is an energy where, you know, the Hermit, the star is inside that lantern. The star is the light that is shining on all those fears and healing all those fears. The light of the star is also making it very clear to us what we desire. And it is bringing us into alignment with what we desire, which is where we meet this Queen of Wands energy, which is the Queen of Wands who knows what she wants and allows it to come to her. She's not chasing it. She's not pursuing it. That's the King energy. She's just becoming the open receptacle for all that she desires to come in. Four of Wands, Queen of Wands. This is heavy, heavy, heavy manifesting energy, calling it down from the ethers into reality and being open and pliable and ready to receive it. If we are still in this energy where, you know, our fears have been played upon, we've taken things personally, you know, it's intensified and made us more anxious about being rejected or, you know, being intimate or whatever, you know, being able to trust someone, whatever, then, you know, we aren't receptive. We shut ourselves down. We close ourselves off. You know, we become the I can't see it, I can't speak it, I can't hear it, you know, kind of person. And that's not what we want. We want to free ourselves from this so that we are open to following our heart and open to having that energy come toward us, that we're manifesting it toward us. With the Nine of Cups, this is that energy of, you know, having emotional contentment within ourselves. And this is how we do it. We face our fears. We don't take things personally. We remember that we are the generator of love. We are the generator of our emotions and our feelings, and they originate within us. Feeling is something that takes place within us. It happens as a result, right, of like being, it's inspired by things a lot of times outside of us, except when it's not. Because listen, even if I'm inspired by, like, let me just use my dog as an example, because you guys know how much I freaking love my dog. And the thing is, by the way, we live in Florida. He has multiple water dishes around his house. He never does not have water. He just has a favorite water dish. But believe me, if my dog needs something, he will come in here and he will tell me all about it. He will talk until I do what he wants. He knows how to get exactly what he wants. But anyway, that's just in reference to yesterday's video. But anyway, he, like, if I sit and think about how much I love my dog, oh my goodness, I will become like, I will cry because I'm just so overcome with love for him. He's inspiring that love because he is who he is, but I am the one that is generating it. I am the one that is allowing myself to feel all those feelings for him. I am the one where it is originating through me. It's vibrating through me. It's a high vibrational frequency. That love and that gratitude that I have him in my life, and that I met him at PetSmart Oviedo on October 6th of 2019. It was the best day ever. We became best friends. You know, I tell him the whole story of how he came into my life. When I think about these things, you know, I just vibrate so high, but that emotional contentment that I'm feeling and all of that, it comes from within me. I'm generating it. He's my inspiration, but I'm generating it, and I can call upon that anytime. All I have to do is think about him, you know, or my husband or my kids or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But that emotional contentment with those nines, the Hermit is the Nine of Cups, it's coming from within you. You singularly are able to produce this level of emotional contentment. And this level of emotional contentment, look at that. She's got all her cups lined up. She doesn't have any towels. She doesn't have anyone passed out on the bar in front of her. She is just like, look at that. I did it all myself. I figured it out. I aligned all this frequency. I aligned all this energy. You allow yourself to open and be the flow of that love. You allow yourself, and I, like a lot of people with their dogs, you know, we're probably going to outlive our dog. And that is a horrifying thought. You know, when you love your dog, that is a horrifying thought. When you allow yourself to have that flow of just extreme love. I'm going to love the shit out of him every single second that I spend with him, you know, until such a time as I, you know, can't be with him anymore. But I will still have that love for him even after that. So, you know, the thing is, it's like, it's within you, and you are allowing yourself to be the vessel. You are allowing yourself to experience that, which can be hard. You know, when you have loved and lost, or you have loved and been hurt, it can be hard. We have a tendency to be like, oh, I don't want to feel that. I'm repressing that. I'm shoving that down. That's emotionally unavailable, right? We don't allow ourselves to feel it. We don't allow ourselves to be that open channel, that flow of love. But here it is, it's showing. It's like, I have dealt with these things. I have spent the time by myself necessary to come to a place of peace with these things. And with the Four of Wands, it's like you are this open channel of manifestation, calling what you desire down from the ethers into reality. And what motivates that? What is the biggest aid in doing that? Love and gratitude, high frequency vibration. All right. Anyway, guys, I have got to just move on. We've been here for over an hour, and we need to move on to some messages. So Pisces, you have a new love, major love coming in, I feel. And this is after a period of time of dealing with people who I think you tried to accommodate, who were misaligned within themselves, and that just, it wasn't ever going to work for you. All right, if you're dealing with a water sign, you hit me out of nowhere, controlling. My nerves get the best of me sometimes, and no one else matters now. If you're dealing with a fire sign, you were so unexpected. I want to talk to you. I am trying to figure things out. Twin flames. I am still moved by you. If you are dealing with an earth sign, nostalgic. I am afraid to trust. Your words speak to me like no others can, and we will be together again. And if you are dealing with an air sign, blocking. My karmic story is ending. I am overthinking everything, and you are the only one who truly gets me. All right, guys, this is what I have for you today. I hope it helps. I hope it brings you some peace and some clarity. Take a moment and just really focus on love and feel that energy and be in that flow and open yourself up. Be the vessel of love. You know, I just feel like if you spend some time in that energy, you're manifesting it in, you're calling it to you. All right, this is what I have for you. You're aligning with it. And the universe is here conspiring to help you. It really seems. This is what I have for you, okay? And I hope it helps. I hope it brought you some peace and clarity. And if it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment. I even love your heart emojis. Just however you interact with the channel, I am super grateful for it. Until next time, guys, all my best, always, always.